Chapter 7. The Escape. Form is given to a growing organism by fields the genes do not contain. The genes are inherited, and so are the fields. After Rupert Sheldrake, A New Science of Life. Bioelectric patterns carry a blueprint of anatomical form, a control layer above the genome that can be edited to change what a body builds. Drawing on Michael Levin, The Bioelectric Code, Biosystems, 2018. The service passage was too narrow for running. Lena dragged the transport case by its side handle, shoulders scraping pipe insulation as she forced it through the dark. Matt pushed from behind with one hand and kept the other braced against the wall. The case wheels were useless on the raised metal grating. Every few feet the whole thing lurched and threatened to twist out of her grip. Inside the case, Skull 1 rested in the lower cradle, and Skull 0 in the upper. NEP-001 from Tessa, NEP-000 from Austin, separated by foam, labels, and every fragile line of custody Lena had managed while men searched the room behind them. Behind them, the B-12 door slammed open hard enough for the sound to travel through the ductwork. Matt flinched and shoved harder.
I take back every complaint I ever made about regular hallways.
Push,
Lena said. Matt put his shoulder into the case and saved his breath for shoving. Her phone vibrated in her coat pocket. She ignored it for 3 steps. Then it vibrated again. Lena wedged the case against her knee, pulled the phone free, and angled it under the dim maintenance light. Vance is inbound. Use the route he opens. Do not give him the case. Her mouth went dry. Whoever was sending these had Tessa's habit of giving instructions in the imperative, but Tessa was dead.
Vance from the phone call?
Matt asked.
Calder Vance.
The phone call Calder Vance? Veritas Calder Vance?
That's him.
Inbound is bad. I am keeping that category.
So did Lena. The passage ended at a square access panel secured by a lever latch. Cold air pressed through the edges. Beyond it, she could hear rainwater in gutters and loading dock doors grinding. She pushed the latch. It did not move. Matt dropped to one knee beside her, breathing hard.
Please do not say maintenance issue.
It's stuck.
That is a maintenance issue.
Behind them, voices entered the passage. Lena put both hands on the lever and pulled until pain flashed through her wrist. Nothing. Then, from the other side, the panel handle turned. Matt stopped breathing. The panel swung open. A tall man in a dark raincoat crouched in the loading dock gloom, one hand raised, palm out.
Dr. Ariston.
Lena knew the voice before she let herself understand the face. Calder Vance. The man who had called her lab, known NEP-001 before he had any right to know it, and arrived tied to Veritas. She yanked the case backward.
Move away from the opening.
Calder's raised hand did not drop. Rain ran from his cuff and struck the concrete between them.
If I move, the men behind you reach you first.
I hate that you are right.
Lena kept the case handle locked in her fist.
Who sent them?
Not me.
You expect that to be enough?
No.
His answer landed without rehearsal. He shifted aside, revealing the dock beyond him. A white SUV idled under the overhang with its lights off. Rain swept in sheets across the concrete apron. The loading dock cameras above the bay hung dark, their status lights dead.
Voss's people have Veritas credentials and my old channels. My people are watched. My cars are watched. This is borrowed and less compromised.
Voss.
You saw the message. If he reaches Iris first, he gets my daughter.
The name hit harder than the rain.
Iris is yours?
She is.
The living one.
She is 12.
I saw a stranger's text.
Then trust the footsteps behind you,
Calder said. Light flared in the passage. Matt made a short, ugly sound.
Stop!
A man shouted. The command cracked down the tunnel. Calder reached in, grabbed the transport case by the front handle, and pulled. Lena held on. For one furious second, they were not allies. They were two people fighting over the dead. Calder met her eyes.
I am not taking it from you. I am getting it over the lip,
Calder said.
If you try to keep it, I will break your hand.
Try not to aim for the thumb,
Calder said. Together, they hauled the case through the access panel. Matt scrambled after it, backpack catching on the frame. Lena grabbed the strap and yanked him free as a flashlight beam cut through the space where his head had been. A shot cracked against the metal panel, a violent slap that filled the loading dock with ringing. Matt hit the concrete on hands and knees.
Were they shooting at us?
Matt asked.
Warning shot.
Ortega said.
That warning achieved awareness.
Car. Now.
Ortega said. They ran low across the dock. Calder kept himself between Lena and the open service panel, which might have been courage or calculation. Rain blew under the overhang, slicking the concrete. The transport case wheels finally worked, clattering behind them. The SUV's rear hatch opened before they reached it. A woman stepped out of the passenger side with a compact pistol held low. Lena recognized the posture before the face. Controlled, economical.
Case in first.
Ortega said.
You.
Lena kept one shoulder between Ortega and the case.
I made the call.
You were the caller. And the texts?
Calder reached for the case strap and stopped when Lena's grip tightened.
Some mine. Some routed through people who still have camera access. Questions in the car.
Lena hated the efficiency of the answer, and hated more that it gave her something solid to test. Ortega lifted the pistol toward the access panel and fired once. The shot snapped bright blue against the metal frame. One of the men inside jerked back and dropped out of sight. Lena stared.
Was that?
Matt began.
Stun round.
Ortega said.
From a handgun?
Ortega's free hand brushed the small shape under her collar before she moved again. Not a cross, not exactly. A raised hand inside a circle, worn nearly flat.
Get in,
Ortega said. Calder and Matt loaded the transport case into the rear cargo well. Lena kept one hand on it until the hatch closed, because the message had said not to give him the case, and because every instinct she owned had become a locked fist. Another figure leaned out from the back seat, wire-rimmed glasses, unshaven, a hard exhaustion around the eyes. He had a bag on his lap and a black knurl band dark against his temple.
Dr. Ariston?
Who are you?
Lena asked.
Ezra Kane, Veritas Ethics Review.
Absolutely not.
Ezra did not defend himself.
That is a reasonable first response.
make room.
He shifted toward the third row without protest, making room. Lena climbed in, still facing him, still half ready to kick him out of the vehicle. Matt slid in beside her, breathing hard and leaving a wet handprint on the door plastic. The transport case thudded once in the cargo well, then settled under its strap. The SUV smelled of rain, old upholstery, gun oil, and a child's orange marker rolling somewhere under the front seat. Ortega took the front passenger seat. Calder got behind the wheel. The SUV pulled away before Lena had fully closed the door. Behind them, flashlight beams swept across the rain-slick concrete where they had been. Then Calder cut the wheel, and the building vanished behind a sheet of water. The SUV moved without headlights through the service road, then snapped them on only when it merged behind a delivery truck. Calder was not driving like a panicked benefactor. He drove like a man who had practiced escapes and hated that he needed to. That did not make him safer. It made him more interesting as a threat.
Where are we going?
Lena asked.
Warehouse near the river.
Calder said.
Temporary. 20 minutes if we are not followed.
Lena kept one hand against the cargo strap over the skull case.
That answer should not have needed rehearsal.
Ezra stayed quiet in the third row, which made him marginally less objectionable.
You have both skulls?
Calder asked.
Why do you know there are two?
Firmware matched NEP-001. Ortega saw the second case.
You put cameras on my samples and called the footage an answer.
Your data hit a neural interface build this morning. Voss's archive merged. Ezra can prove the path.
For those of us not paid by the conspiracy,
Matt said.
the skull file touched the implant code?
Yes.
Ezra said.
NEP-001 in Lena's lab. The Nephilim phrase in Veritas firmware. Same hidden root.
He glanced toward Calder.
That may be legally complicated.
I am building a lawsuit folder in my head.
Calder's eyes flicked to the rearview mirror.
You think I am the enemy.
Lena turned the full force of the last hour on him.
I think you knew the object ID of a skull in my lab, called me minutes after Tessa warned me about anyone reaching for it under the word Nephilim, and then appeared at a loading dock while armed men chased me.
It is a strong evidentiary chain.
Ezra said.
I also opened the panel.
Calder said.
Because I needed what was on the other side.
Lena had expected denial. Calder gave her none.
I need the skulls, your data, Dr. Kane's access, Ortega's people, and you.
His hands tightened on the wheel.
Because Iris is brilliant, terrified, sensitive to the same markers that show up in the skulls, and born with enough that Veritas noticed before anyone should have.
Say the center.
Lena said.
The skulls point to what Voss wants. Ezra can freeze the code. Ortega can slow the men. You can keep the evidence honest. Iris is why all of it matters.
Born with.
Enough for them to notice her.
And Voss?
Voss believed born with was not enough.
The line hung there like a confession with missing pages. Lena leaned forward. The question came out lower than Lena intended.
Did you let him near her?
I let Veritas near her because I thought monitoring could protect her. Voss built half the pediatric safeguards. He knew the failure cases by name, birthdays, allergies, which children hated soft toys.
Calder swallowed.
He sat on the floor with patients so the bed rails did not make them feel trapped.
That sounds kind.
It was. Then it wasn't.
What changed?
He started saying the limit was the enemy, that a body kept inside what it could safely bear was a body betrayed, and that the timid called the betrayal mercy. What I should have heard was the other thing under it, that he had stopped believing he owed anyone an answer, not the board, not the families, not the slower men who might have told him no.
Calder looked at the rain through the windshield.
I funded the room before I understood that was the dangerous part.
Ezra spoke from the third row, quieter than accusation.
That is not the same answer.
I suspected archive protocols. I did not know he still had Iris's data until it was too late.
You suspected enough to hide her.
And not enough to hide her well.
Lena made herself ask the thing under all of it.
You keep saying he had her data. Data does not make a child the only person who can walk into that archive and live. What did he do to her, Calder?
Calder's hands tightened until the wheel creaked.
He did not touch her genes.
He said.
I need you to hear that. I checked it 100 times, hoping it was the one line he had not crossed. He had not needed to. He told me once that genes only write down what a body has already decided to become, that if you want to change what a person is, you change the pattern underneath, the shape a body tunes itself toward. He called it the field. He moved hers. Her body followed it. The markers you found are the footprints it left in her afterward.
The rain filled the silence.
She is still herself,
Calder said, too fast.
fully human. He only made her more able to hear.
More able to hold what no one was ever meant to hold.
Lena said. She knew the idea was not only Voss's. Fringe men had called it morphic resonance for 40 years and been laughed out of the journals. Then Sirius Labs had grown eyes where no eye belonged, on a tadpole's tail, in the wall of its gut, by altering the electrical pattern the cells were reading. The voltage, not the local genome, had decided an eye should grow there, and it grew. The body asked a field what to build, and built it. Voss had simply stopped waiting for the field to be understood and started moving it. It frightened her more than he did, because of how cleanly it would work. In the short run, a moved field need not touch the genome at all. The body would simply express the new shape, the way epigenetics wakes and silences genes without rewriting a single letter, survivable inside one lifetime. That was Iris. In the long run, across many lifetimes, ordinary selection finished what the field began. The bodies that could carry the new shape lived and bred, and the shape sank into the genome until it read as ancestry. That was the skulls. The markers were never the cause. They were the receipt, what survival filed away after the field decided which shape a body should take. A field that decides is not a field. It is an intelligent field. And Lena's whole discipline had an unspoken rule about the word that follows intelligent when the subject is where form comes from. She would not say that word. She would not say whose intelligence either. She had a career's worth of reasons, and not one of them was holding. She had spent that career insisting that unknown did not mean permission. She had never let herself ask the next question. Permission from whom? For the first time, Calder sounded less like a man in control and more like a father who had run out of places to put blame. Ezra looked down at his own hands, clasped too tightly in his lap. The neural band at his temple reflected one dull blink from a passing streetlight and went dark again. Matt leaned forward, voice thinner now.
Practical panic question. Where is Iris now?
In transit.
Calder said.
That is not a location.
Calder did not look away from the road.
It is what we have. She left a monitored safe site 6 hours ago.
Calder said.
A safe site, run by whom?
Mine.
Compromised.
My side caught fragments. Airport cameras, 2 false passports, 1 private cargo manifest. Peru.
Paracas. The skulls came from there. She hears resonance like a voice in a crowd.
Lena felt Matt go very still beside her. Even he knew not to joke with that sentence.
You let her get to an airport?
Calder's answer had the shape of pride until grief cut through it.
She got herself there.
She's 12.
I know.
Then say that.
Calder flinched.
You're right.
Ezra looked at Lena then, properly for the first time, not as a figure from a surveillance frame.
That she is 12.
Lena held his gaze. There was grief in his face, without pity or performance. Lena looked away first.
I am not your worst problem in this vehicle.
No one said that out loud.
I am reading the room.
Headlights appeared behind them. One pair, then another. Ortega looked at the side mirror.
We are followed.
Under her breath, in a language Lena did not catch, Ortega said 2 words that sounded too old for traffic and too calm for pursuit.
How many?
Lena asked.
2, maybe 3.
Please tell me this SUV has another trick.
It has bad suspension and a full tank.
Ortega said. Matt buckled himself tighter.
Left at the underpass.
That road floods.
Then they have to want it.
Calder cut left so sharply Matt grabbed the door handle. The SUV dropped into a service lane beside the river, tires hissing through standing water. Behind them, one set of headlights followed. The second hesitated at the turn. Lena twisted to see through the rear window. The transport case sat in the cargo well, strapped down but exposed. Her evidence. Tessa's warning. The dead who had not yet been allowed to speak. And somewhere beyond Austin, a living child was being pulled toward the same origin point. The SUV hit a flood channel, Water sheeted up over the windows. For half a second, the world vanished. Then they broke through, still moving. Ortega checked the mirror.
One vehicle stalled.
Ortega said.
I take back my criticism of the flooded road.
Matt said.
You may keep it. We still have one.
The remaining headlights swung into view behind them. Calder accelerated. Lena braced one hand against the seat and the other against the case strap. She did not trust Calder. She did not trust Veritas. She barely trusted Ortega, and she did not know Ezra at all. But the men behind them wanted the skulls, and Calder had said the living one was 12. For now, that was enough to keep her in the car. She had no belief yet, no faith, only a direction. The same direction was being followed, at that moment, by a green service van crossing the dunes outside Paracas, with a 12-year-old in the back among canvas bags. Iris had stopped counting bumps. The road had turned to sand, then to stone, and the hum that had been under the asphalt was now in the wall of the van, and in the metal floor, and in the small bones behind her ears. It was not louder. It was closer. As if the ground at Paracas were not just praising God in general the way her grandmother said all ground did, but praising him in a particular voice. This stretch of ground had been keeping for a long time. She did not know yet that adults, a continent away, were arguing about her in a moving SUV. She knew the road was almost done pointing. She found the last whole cracker in her pocket and held it in her fist instead of eating it. Saved food made later feel more likely. The van slowed. A man's voice she did not know spoke through the front window. The driver answered, careful. A door slammed. Footsteps walked around to the back of the van. Iris did not move. The latch lifted.